Hey, what's going on, people? It's your boy Brandon Brevon Towns, host of that show called Sports Plus Life. Y'all already know what's going down today and what a day it is. So turn it off, turn it all the way off. Yeah. What it do, people? How y'all doing? Allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is Brandon Brevon Towns, and this is Sports Plus Life, that sports show where we definitely discuss all the hot topics in sports that need to be discussed. If you are indeed a first-time listener, don't hesitate to hit that subscription button. Join the Sports Plus Life family. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, leave it underneath that comment box. I promise I will get back to you personally. That's my word, you dig? But anyway, I hope everybody is having a good day. It is a sunny yet chilly Arctic type day in the Richmond, VA. But, you know, let's go ahead and just get up to it, you dig? It is Tuesday, January 21st, 2020. Okay, and we got a lot to discuss. We got a lot to talk about. You feel me? So without further ado, let's get to it. All right, folks. Well, guess what? The Super Bowl is here. Super Bowl 54 is here. And I can take a little bit of pride in saying that at least one of the teams that I predicted to make the Super Bowl in the preseason has indeed made the Super Bowl. But before we get into the Super Bowl matchup, let's get into Championship Sunday, okay? The first game was the AFC Championship game, the Kansas City Chiefs hosting the Tennessee Titans in Arrowhead Stadium. And if you listened to last episode, I said that
these nuts.
We know that in the divisional round that the Chiefs got down to the Texans 24-0, and then a bunch of crazy stuff started happening, and we all know that the Chiefs offense is a juggernaut. You know, they cannot be slept on for anything. And I said that the Chiefs could not get down 24. They could not get down by 3 possessions and expect to come back on Tennessee. I said they can't get down more than 14 points. And the Chiefs were down at one point in the second half of 17-7. The score was 17-7. But once that happened, it was pretty much a wrap. The Kansas City Chiefs are simply a juggernaut on offense. And the issue with the Tennessee Titans was what everybody thought they would be. When the Chiefs start scoring, when they start bowling, can you keep up? Can you depend on Ryan Tannehill to go toe-to-toe with Patrick Mahomes? And the answer was no, you couldn't. Now, granted, the Tennessee Titans, through their whole playoff run, they had a valiant effort. And there were a lot of people who were on the Kool-Aid. You know, they were drinking the Kool-Aid. They were saying that Tennessee was going to win, that this style of offense was going to win. And I said, you know, what I loved about Tennessee is that Tennessee is playing 1950s football. They're still playing football that high school teams play all the time. You run the football, you play good defense. But that just simply wasn't enough. That simply was not enough. Because at the beginning of the game, it looked like that it was going to be another Derrick Henry showcase. But that did not happen. Because once the Chiefs got going, it was a wrap. And what I give the Chiefs credit for, their defense, particularly on Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry had 19 carries for 69 yards. Now, I don't understand what the game plan was with Mike Vrabel and the Titans for this particular game, because Derrick Henry only rushed the ball 3 times in the second half. Now, that score at halftime was 21-17 Kansas City. Like I said, at one point it was 17-7, and Patrick Mahomes threw a touchdown pass to Tyreek Hill and then had a sensational run at the end of the first half to put the Kansas City Chiefs up 21-17.
Second and 10 as that Tennessee defense drops back. As Long who tried to make a diving tip. Mahomes who tiptoes inside the 10. Still knocked out. Oh, what a run! Out of this world! Touchdown, Kansas City!
That was simply Patrick Mahomes saying, look, I lost last year to Tom Brady in a game that I shouldn't have lost to. There ain't no way in hell that I'm losing to Ryan Tannehill and the Tennessee Titans. No way. And they won the game 35-24. The Kansas City Chiefs are headed to their first Super Bowl in 50 years. 50 years. So that drought is over with. And Patrick Mahomes, I mean, goodness gracious, I'm a Broncos fan, but I can't help but marvel at this guy. Black quarterback, hey. But 23 for 35, 294 yards, 3 touchdowns. Wasn't the numbers he put up against the Texans, but who cares? He also led the team in rushing with 53 yards. Sammy Watkins, who had really the game-clinching touchdown against the Tennessee Titans, caught 7 for 114. Again, Tyreek Hill had 2 touchdown catches. And the Kansas City Chiefs, I called them to go to the Super Bowl at the beginning of the season. I said it would be the Chiefs and the Philadelphia Eagles. So I was right halfway. Biatch. But, you know, shout out to the Kansas City Chiefs. Shout out to Andy Reid, going to his second Super Bowl, his first Super Bowl appearance since 2004 when he led the Philadelphia Eagles to the Super Bowl with Donovan McNabb, with Terrell Owens, with Brian Westbrook, and Brian Dawkins. Now, like I said, the Titans' game plan to me was all wrong. You're sending a 3-man rush against Patrick Mahomes? Are you serious? With the weapons that he has available to him, you have got to put pressure on him. We know he's elusive. We know he makes plays, but sometimes you just have to depend on him being elusive and him having to make those plays. But a clean pocket, I mean, come on. So you're going to depend on a 3-man rush when you have Tyreek Hill, when you have Travis Kelce, when you have Sammy Watkins, when you have McCole Hardman and Demarcus Robinson. That's 5 guys right there who, if they get the ball in their hands, can simply ice you, including Damian Williams, the running back. So that's 6. So you can't send a 3-man rush at this guy, but the Titans were hell-bent on doing it, maybe because they thought they would have the lead, which they did, and they can ball control, which they didn't. Like I said, Derrick Henry had 69 yards rushing. This coming off of his first 2 playoff games, rushing for over 180 yards each playoff game. And, you know, it's like I said the last show. If you can neutralize Henry, you have to put the game in Ryan Tannehill's hands. And Ryan Tannehill didn't play bad, to his credit. 21 for 31, 209 yards, and 2 touchdown passes. I mean, he didn't play bad, but the Titans were not going to keep up with Kansas City if it came to going blow for blow, touchdown to touchdown. That's something I thought that Deshaun Watson would be able to do once Kansas City got going. I feel that if Houston had scored maybe when Kansas City went on 7 straight drives leading in touchdowns, and how insane is that? I figured that if Deshaun Watson could have answered at least 3 of those 7 drives, that the Texans would have won the game. But it is what it is. It is what it is. Kansas City has earned the right to represent the AFC. You think about everything that has happened since the last week of the season to put Kansas City in this position. Coming into week 17 of the football season, Kansas City, I'm pretty sure, was clearly thinking, we're going to get the 3rd seed. We're going to get the 3rd seed. We're going to host a playoff game, and then we're going to have to go to New England. But then New England lost to Miami, and Kansas City handled their business against the Chargers. That all switched. So I'm sure Kansas City was thinking after that, okay, the Patriots, this is the Patriots at home against the Tennessee Titans. They ain't going to lose to the Titans. They ain't going to lose to them. But then the Titans beat the Chiefs. Then the Titans beat the Patriots. And instead of having to play the Patriots second round, they get, to me, was a more dangerous game in the Houston Texans. Because remember, Houston had went to Kansas City and won in the regular season. Just like Tennessee had beaten Kansas City in the regular season, albeit in Tennessee, and with Mahomes coming back off an injury, which he threw for over 400 yards straight off of an injury. What the fuck? Be that as it may, things definitely worked out for Kansas City. You know, they should have been in the Super Bowl last year. They definitely were the favorites to come out of the AFC at the beginning of the season. And we all know that Baltimore had the season that they did. And maybe some of us were thinking, hey, maybe the Ravens will go to the Super Bowl. But when Kansas City got healthy at the end of the season, I said, Kansas City might have to go on the road to win the AFC, but they'll win the AFC. That was my thinking. Now, the only thing that has kind of annoyed me is me watching all of these sports shows and everybody anointing Patrick Mahomes as he's going to end up being the greatest that you've ever seen, blase. Patrick Mahomes is definitely a phenomenon, but he hasn't won anything yet. He has an AFC championship under his belt now. Yes, he does. Won't take that away. But for all the talk of, he is now the guy in football, he is now the guy in American sports, you got to win first. You have to win first. Now, I will get back on that subject in a minute. So we know Kansas City is representing the AFC in the Super Bowl. To the NFC Championship game, the San Francisco 49ers versus the Green Bay Packers. Now, the 49ers and Packers met in Week 12 of the regular season, and it was a one-way 49ers beatdown of the Green Bay Packers. 37-8 was the score in Week 12. Do you know what the NFC Championship game was? Part 2 of that one-way beating that San Francisco gave the Green Bay back in Week 12. The 49ers kicked the shit out of the Green Bay Packers. Don't be deceived by the score. The score was 37-20. That was the final score, and San Francisco won. That game was not that close. Trust me when I tell you, it was 27-0 at halftime, San Francisco. Okay? The 49ers destroyed the Packers. They destroyed the Green Bay Packers. Aaron Rodgers got a bunch of meaningless yards in the second half because the game was already over. Aaron Rodgers threw for over 300 yards. Yes, he did. But he really started the 300-yard process when the score was 27-0. I mean, let me tell you something. The 49ers have looked absolutely dominant in the playoffs thus far. They destroyed the Vikings. They destroyed the Packers. These games have not been close. Matter of fact, the Vikings game was closer than the Packers game. God damn! In my eyes, because in the second half, there was still the possibility that Minnesota could possibly make this real interesting. By halftime of the 49ers and Packers, we all knew this is over. This is done. Green Bay ain't got no Kansas City offense. This is done. So it was a wrap. And here's the thing that was really crazy. Jimmy Garoppolo threw 8 passes in the game. 8. 6 of 8 for 77 yards. He didn't need to throw no more than the 8 passes he threw because the 49ers ran the ball right up the Green Bay Packers' fucking asses. They ran the ball right down their throat, and there was nothing that the Green Bay Packers could do about it. That has to be a debilitating, deflating feeling as a defense when a team, first of all, before the game, lets everybody know, oh, we're going to run the ball. We're going to run the ball till the cows come home. And they do it, and they're successful. I mean, goodness gracious. You know, one part of the 49ers team that does not get the credit it deserves is their offensive line. Biatch. To be able to have the vibrato to say, oh, we're going to run the ball down their throat in a championship game. And not only do it well. Do it exceedingly good to the point where Raheem Mostert was 29 carries, 220 yards, 4 touchdowns. 4 touchdowns, all running the ball. All running the ball. The 49ers leading receiver was Deebo Samuel, 2 catches for 46 yards.
That's my boy, Punk.
I mean, what else needs to be said?
These nuts.
The 49ers are using the formula, and they've done this all season, and well, for the majority of the season, of we're going to run the football, we're going to play great defense. You know, that was the Titans' game plan, that was the Ravens' game plan. 49ers have just done it better. They've done it better. And most importantly, the 49ers have a better defense, a far better defense than both the Titans and the Ravens. Okay, so they're saying, well, Jimmy Garoppolo, there's some people who want to say, yeah, Jimmy Garoppolo is the key, blase. And then there's some people that's saying, really? Jimmy Garoppolo is a game manager. Now, look, if you look at Jimmy Garoppolo's numbers over the playoffs, Jimmy Garoppolo has thrown for 209 total yards in the playoffs. Yes, he has been a game manager, but you know what I say to that? If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Because remember what I said last show about how the Titans were looking like the 0-1 Patriots? Run the ball, play great defense. Tom Brady maybe will have 100 yards passing, and it got them to a Super Bowl title. Okay, so if it ain't broke, don't fix it. What I'm going to say is nobody needs to act like Jimmy Garoppolo cannot wing that thing and that they don't have the offensive weapons to wing that thing. Kyle Shanahan, to me, this Super Bowl is matching up the 2 best play callers in football, Kyle Shanahan and Andy Reid. Remember, Jimmy Garoppolo won a shootout against Drew Brees in New Orleans. He won a shootout with the then defending NFC champion Los Angeles Rams in San Francisco. So when this offense has had to be dependent upon Jimmy Garoppolo, he has stepped up to the plate. No questions about it. He has stepped up to the plate. He has answered the bell. So for those who say, well, you know, Garoppolo is a weak link, not really. Now, would he have been able to answer the bell had they not made the Emmanuel Sanders trade? I don't think so. Because I don't think that there was enough trust in those wide receivers. We trusted Kittle. Of course we trusted Kittle. But I don't think there was enough trust in those wide receivers to warrant Jimmy Garoppolo carrying the offense. When they got Emmanuel Sanders, that all changed. You had a veteran. You had a legit number 1 receiver that freed up Deebo Samuel. That freed up Bourne. That freed up Kittle. And made the running game more potent. And play action, they will kill you. They will kill you. So, definite shout out to the San Francisco 49ers. They're off to another Super Bowl, looking to win their 6th Super Bowl title, which would tie the New England Patriots and the Pittsburgh Steelers for most Super Bowl championships in NFL history. So now, let's get to the Super Bowl matchup. We have an intriguing, this is a great matchup. It really is. The San Francisco 49ers and the Kansas City Chiefs. A great matchup. And it's a different matchup. You know, it's a very different matchup. Allow me to give you a history lesson real quick, if you will. Okay, this is the first time in this decade, and I'm only saying this because it's still technically the 2019 NFL season. This is the first time as far as AFC representatives since the 2010 NFL season that the AFC representative is not either the New England Patriots, the Denver Broncos, or the Baltimore Ravens. Throw in the Pittsburgh Steelers as well. And the reason why I say that is because that actually holds clout for the last 20 years of football coming out of the AFC. But particularly in the AFC from 2010 to 2019, you have the Steelers going in 2010, the Patriots going in 2011, the Ravens going in 2012, the Broncos in 2013, the Patriots in 2014, the Broncos in 2015, and 16, 17, 18 have been the Patriots. You know, contrast that with the NFC, where the only teams from 2010 to 2019 to have multiple Super Bowl appearances are the 49ers now, since they made the Super Bowl. This will be their second time going. And the Seattle Seahawks, who went back-to-back in 2013 and 2014. Other than that, you've had the Packers, the Giants, the Falcons, the Eagles, and the Panthers. All right? And contrast that with the last 20 years, where as far as the AFC goes, you've had the Patriots, Broncos, Steelers, Ravens. Since the 2000, I'm trying to say 20 years, since the 2000 NFL season. Other than that, the only AFC team you could throw in it was the Colts. And the Oakland Raiders of 2002. That's it. Since the year 2000. And Oakland was in 2002. Since Oakland, before Kansas City, it had been nothing but Patriots, Broncos, Steelers, Colts. And throwing the Ravens with one in 2012, because the Ravens went to the Super Bowl in 2000. So the parity has been much more on the NFC times. The parity has been much more on the NFC side when it comes to representatives for Super Bowls. Yes, since 2000 and since the 2000 season, yes, the Giants have went 3 times. Yes, the Eagles have went twice. Yes, the Seahawks have went 3 times. Yes, the 49ers have gone twice. You know what I mean? And the Rams have gone twice. But other than that, I mean, you've had what? You've had the Bucks in the Super Bowl. You've had the Bears in the Super Bowl. You have the Cardinals in the Super Bowl. You've had the Saints, the Falcons. You know, so it's just it's a refreshing feeling. Because I'll give the 49ers credit. Hey, we all thought that Kansas City would probably, if it pretty much when the season started, it was like a 2-team race. Either Kansas City or New England. Nobody thought the 49ers would be in the Super Bowl when the season started. I don't give a damn who you are. Nobody thought the 49ers would be in the Super Bowl. 49er fans can't convince me that they thought the 49ers would be in the motherfucking Super Bowl when the season started. Maybe after mid-season, sure. But when the season started, hell no. We thought they would be an improved team, but a Super Bowl team, no. But what leads me to the matchup. I'm not going to make my Super Bowl prediction because I'm simply not sure yet. I'm not rooting against either team because, yes, I'm a Bronco fan, but I can't help but marvel at Patrick Mahomes. I can't help but marvel at the Kansas City offense. I'm a fan of Andy Reid. Andy Reid, if he wins this Super Bowl, automatically elevates himself to probably the next best coach over the last 20 years outside of Bill Belichick. And I think that would be legit because other than Belichick and Tom Coughlin, and I would put him past Tom Coughlin, I guess, every other coach has one title. I would put Andy Reid past Mike Tomlin. I would put him past Sean Payton. You know, I would have to because of his sustained success through his 21 years of coaching. 7 conference championship games. Now 2 Super Bowl appearances. That's hard to do. 15 playoff appearances. That's hard to do. It is. That is hard to do. That's only if Andy Reid wins the Super Bowl. If he loses, he's still a notch under those guys. Excuse me, I'm porched. But as far as matchup goes, this is a classic offense versus defense matchup. But I'm going to be honest with you. I see this as being a shootout. I really do. I believe it's going to start. I'm going to be honest with you. This is the way I see it. I believe Kansas City is going to start slow because the 49ers defense is going to be the best defense that they've seen all season. I don't care if they went to Foxborough and whatever. I told you New England's defense would get exposed once they started playing real teams, starting with the Baltimore Ravens. The 49ers defense is going to throw some things at them. And they're not going to just send 3, but with their front 4, that's really all they need. That front 4 is going to be at Patrick Mahomes. I see the 49ers getting off to a quick start, a quick 2-possession lead. Then the track meet is going to start because Kansas City is going to get their points. Make no mistake about it. They're going to get their points. But, the thing is, when they get their points, will Jimmy Garoppolo be able to answer? Oh, yes. Absolutely yes. They're still going to be able to run the ball. Yeah, they stopped Derrick Henry, yes, but they're going to have a 3-headed running back because it looks like Tevin Coleman, who did separate his shoulder and was in a sling at the end of the NFC Championship game, it's looking like he will play thanks to the week off. So you're going to have your 3-headed running back who are all track stars. They're not big, burly beast running backs, but they are track stars. These guys can run. And you think Kyle Shanahan's play calling, the Chiefs defense ain't no world beaters. Let's get that straight. For one, the Chiefs defense ain't no world beaters. Do I think that they have answers for George Kittle and Emmanuel Sanders and Deebo Samuel? I do not. What the Chiefs defense would be dependent upon is, would Jimmy Garoppolo make a mistake? Like I said, we know what we're getting with Kansas City's offense. But I'm going to tell you this. I'll take defense over offense anytime. Now, that might make it sound like that I'm saying, hey, I'm picking the 49ers. I'm just giving a history lesson again. Great offenses. There have been a number of great offenses in the NFL, throughout NFL history, who have never won titles. Allow me to go back, if you will. The San Diego Chargers with Dan Fouts and Kellen Winslow. Great offense. Never made a Super Bowl. Miami, Dan Marino, Mark Clayton, Mark Duper. Never won a Super Bowl. The Buffalo Bills went to 4 straight Super Bowls with Jim Kelly, Thurman Thomas, Andre Reed, James Lofton, Don Beatty. Never won a Super Bowl and went 4 straight times. The Houston Oilers run and shoot offense, which would be dominant in today's game of football. Warren Moon, Hayward Jeffries, Ernest Givens, Curtis Duncan, Lorenzo White, Webster Slaughter, Drew Hill. Never made a Super Bowl. Okay, the 98 Minnesota Vikings with Randy Moss as a rookie who just took the NFL by storm. Chris Carter, Jake Reed, Randall Cunningham, Robert Smith. Didn't go to the Super Bowl. Didn't go. The 2002 Oakland Raiders, #1 offense. Rich Gannon, MVP. Tim Brown, Jerry Rice, long in the tooth, but was still getting it done. Charlie Gardner, Jerry Porter. Went to the Super Bowl against the Tampa Bay Bucks, got slaughtered. Okay. My Denver Broncos from 2013 set records. Greatest offense ever. Got to the Super Bowl against the Legion of Boom and got embarrassed. The 2015 Carolina Panthers, Cam Newton, MVP. #1 offense. Faced my Broncos in Super Bowl 50. Ain't had nothing for them. So all I'm saying is, great offense. Don't let me forget the 2007 Patriots, undefeated. Tom Brady, Randy Moss, Wes Welker, Stallworth, undefeated. Met a front 4 called the New York Giants, and guess what happened? They lost twice. So all I'm saying is, don't let great offenses or great offensive numbers by a quarterback make you a prisoner of the moment. Because if the Chiefs were facing the Packers, I say, oh hell yeah, this is gonna be a one-way wipeout. Even with the Chiefs defense being suspect, but they're playing the best defense in football. Okay, now am I saying that the 49ers defense are the 85 Bears or the 2000 Ravens or the 2002 Bucks or the 2013 Seahawks or the 2015 Broncos? No, I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is they're healthy. And when they were healthy in the regular season, they could have been. And the only reason why I'm saying they're not is because of the shootout in New Orleans, because of the shootout in against the Rams, because of the last second loss because of a touchdown pass that happened against the Atlanta Falcons. You know? But what I'm saying is that defense against this offense is such an intriguing matchup. But that's mainly what everybody is going to be looking for is what is Mahomes going to do against that 49ers defense? Maybe the question should be, what is Garoppolo going to do against that Kansas City suspect defense? How is Kyle Shanahan going to play call? You know, how is that going to work out for you? Because to me, that's more intriguing than Mahomes versus the 49ers defense, because we already know that's going to be a showcase matchup. That's not the question. That's not the question. The question is, what is Jimmy G going to do against the KC defense? They've been better, but I think San Francisco's offense may be getting slept on a little bit. Yes, they ran themselves to the Super Bowl. But like I said, don't think for 1 second that Jimmy Garoppolo cannot put up 40 points with this offense, because he can, because we've seen him do it. You know, we've seen him do it against an elite football team. So it's a fascinating matchup. I cannot wait for the Super Bowl. Like, I know I don't have no dogs in the fight. I don't have no dogs in the fight for the Super Bowl, but I can't wait to see it, because, you know, when the Patriots are playing in the Super Bowls, I want them to lose so bad. I'm fully invested in the NFC team that's playing against them. I'm a Broncos fan, but honestly, I ain't got nothing against the Chiefs, because I knew we won't go into the Super Bowl. I ain't got nothing against the Chiefs, not this season. I ain't got nothing against San Francisco. So I'm just fascinated, looking to see a great football game, a great Super Bowl, and I truly believe that that is indeed what we are going to get. And, of course, I'll do another show before the Super Bowl. Maybe the next time I do a show, I'll have a pick. Maybe, maybe not. It is what it is. If they want to take it there. Oh. But with that being said, let me get over to the NBA real quickly. NBA is interesting. It's interesting because the standings really haven't changed that much. The Milwaukee Bucks still have the best record in the NBA. The Los Angeles Lakers have the second. They still have the second best record. And it's getting interesting because the Bucks are still winning. The Lakers got slaughtered last night by the Boston Celtics. The Lakers lost by 27 points. 32 points. What's it, 27, 32? All I know is they got their ass kicked. And I know LeBron James got yammed on by Jaylen Brown.
Green making contact, so the ball remains in the front court. Brad Stevens going with his starting unit. Tatum bringing toss up front. Brown with 11 points. Frank Vogel takes a timeout. 81-63 Boston.
This is how you attack a shot blocker. Hello. Welcome back. We know you've been hurt. Looks like you got some rest. Jaylen Brown.
Marv Albert was so late to that party as far as the dunk went. But, I mean, yeah, other than that, you know, the Celtics embarrassed the Lakers. They really did. But, you know, that didn't change much as far as standings goes. I mean, the Celtics really needed that win. They had been struggling lately, particularly at home where they started off the season so hot. But things are getting juicy in the NBA. All-Star Week is almost here. They've reached the halfway point already. Isn't that crazy? But yeah, things are getting real good. Like I said, the Milwaukee Bucks are still number 2. The Milwaukee Bucks are still number 1. and the Los Angeles Lakers are still number 2. Last night you had the Damian Lillard putting up 61 points for the Blazers as they beat the Warriors in overtime. The New Orleans Pelicans, they won. They beat the Grizzlies, but more importantly, their next game tomorrow will be the debut of Zion Williamson as he makes his NBA debut tomorrow night for the Pelicans. And my thing with Zion has been, consistent. He has to keep himself in shape. Otherwise, this great, wonderful, amazing Hall of Fame career that they said he would have, it ain't going to happen if he don't stay in shape. But the Pelicans have definitely been a team on the rise. Brandon Ingram should be an all-star. No doubt about it. I don't care what his team record look like. And particularly, they've been playing better of late. He's been the leading force in that. Another note, the Rockets have been struggling. They lost last night. I believe it was their 5th straight loss in a row. They lost to the Oklahoma City Thunder, whom they lost to last week. I wonder how Russell Westbrook feels about that. And I wonder how Chris Paul feels about that. As the Oklahoma City Thunder continue to be a surprise amongst most people in NBA circles. Not really so to me, because I said if you put Chris Paul on a team with, above average players, but he's the alpha dog, they'll do some things. They ain't gonna do nothing in the playoffs, but they will definitely do some things. So with that being said, what a buzzer, what a buzzer, what a buzzer. Okay, the only thing I have to say about life topics is personal happiness. Find it. Definitely find it. You will be nothing in your life if you don't find personal happiness. You won't make yourself happy. You won't make those around you happy if you don't find personal happiness. So with that being said, it is your boy Brandon Brevon Towns. Again, if you have not subscribed to Sports Plus Life, definitely hit that subscription button. Holla at your boy, and I will definitely get back at y'all ASAP. Peace.